The truth why Nedu had to run away or resign from his own podcast. Now, before we go into the deep, part of this story, let's talk about the reason why VDM has left the main matter on ground of him sleeping with men to dragging Nedu unnecessarily over this. For me, I think VDM should be dragging, D1 instead of dragging Nedu because D1 is the one that said it. And if truly you are not sleeping with men, you're supposed to come out just the way the people that you said Nedu told you they are sleeping with people, and they came out defending themselves. That same way I expected VDM to defend himself. Or maybe is there something VDM is hiding that nobody knows? Is there a reason why he's not talking about, you know D1, and he said he will be attacking Nedu instead? Now, Nedu made an official statement saying that he's leaving the Honest Bunk podcast because they are dragging the name of the podcast instead of him. Because if you notice the way VDM is talking, VDM is always talking like, oh, Honest Bunk podcast, this is what they do. Oh, it's not a worthy place to be. Before you know, they'll start losing customers. And if they invite a guest, they might be scared. The guest might be scared that, oh, if they finish talking, the Honest Bunk podcast will carry their matter and be telling everybody. That's how Blessing CEO came out the other time. She said that Nedu running away from her own podcast is not even it's not even something to, for her to relate with, because she had been dragged by all these people dragging Nedu, and she still standing one man squad that maybe Nedu for compare, to drag VDM back. Because you see, when somebody use mouth to trash you, you use mouth trash the person back. And I don't even know why Nedu cannot reply VDM instead of saying he's leaving on a bomb podcast. Like, why? I don't even think that Honest podcast can do well without Nedu sitting down there. Most of the time, people watch it because Nedu's face is there. I don't know how they are going to do. In fact, we cannot wait for the next Honest Bond podcast to come. But I think the way the Honest Bond podcast is doing, just because of VDM, could it be that they're the one that told Nedu to step aside, or because Nedu feel like he wants to step aside? I don't know. Just to uphold the integrity of the show. I don't know. But what about D1 that keeps saying that he will deal with a very dark man? D1 keeps saying that if very dark man is not scared of him, that he should come and reply him. But what if very dark man is scared of something? Is there something D1 knows? Because according to D1, that is daring anybody that is a man. If you think very dark man is not gay, go to his house and sleep. That's where you know that they will pull your pants. I mean, I'm not laughing. I'm like, if VDM feels this thing, because this thing is something that is defamation of character per se. You can't be saying somebody is gay whereas he's not gay. You remember the thing that is letting VDM to be sued today by the Falanos is one of those that he called the other guy, Faust the bad guy, gay. So why is it that VDM is just sleeping and forgetting about what D1 says? Is it because maybe he doesn't want the thing to continue to people to be talking about it? If not, I don't see the reason why very dark man should be facing Nedu instead of D1. D1 is one that said you are gay and you are angry about the gay part, and then you're not facing D1. After all, D1 is not small when it comes to very dark man. He's not a small guy in the industry. So very dark man pretending that because V1 is small, that's why he doesn't want to talk to him. Doesn't even make sense. Now, what is the truth about Nidu leaving this on a bunch podcast? For me, I think he feels that if you continue being there, guests will be scared of coming for the Honest Bond podcast, because they'll feel that maybe his mouth is doing church or church, just the way VDM is trying to portray him as talk, 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 talk. What if this Nedu come out and also face VDM and say, I never told you this, I never did this? At least for him not coming out, it could also be as a sign of, yes, I accept, I did church or church. Because you see, one thing in life is sometimes when you keep quiet over somebody, accusing him, meaning that it's true. But when you talk back, or at least you sue like this VDM now, if he feels what D1 is saying is a lie, sue him or something. But when he's keeping quiet like this, everybody begin to feel like maybe this very dark man is really gay and is angry that Nedu brought D1. Maybe he's just angry with Nedu because he feels Nedu owns the podcast. We don't know if Nedu is the bona fide and sole owner of the podcast. We don't know. Or it could just be a joint something, and they feel that, oh, for the fact that Nedu has said one or two things to Very Dark Man has brought proof of days that they were sitting and they were talking about people. So maybe the Honor Brown podcast that told him, okay, you step aside for the meantime. Let's see how we handle and save the name of the podcast. Now, I'm sure that maybe Very Dark Man is so angry because he knows that if you start talking with D1, D1 might bring proof. But if now maybe D1, if you say somebody is gay, you bring proof now, sure. Because I don't know if it's Very Dark Man that is talking, sis. If I don't bring proof, oh, that's one thing I like VDM for. If he's talking, you always bring proof. You D1, you have been shouting, talking, daring him, telling him that let him just say no to it, and you bring it. No. Sometimes it's not until somebody bring no before you bring proof. If you have evidence, drop it. That's the way I like things. If you have evidence, drop it. And again, see the way D1 is attacking Very Dark Man, saying he's gay. Very Dark Man keeping quiet. Oga, Very Dark Man, we don't know you for this. So we know you that even people with this smaller than D1 don't attack you before and you come out shouting. So how come this D1 own? You can't dey act like say you be Baba for where D1 they I don't know. This whole scenario is just funny, and this whole scenario is looking like one person is hiding something somewhere. Well, according to D1, there are some TV stations like channels and other TV stations that are about to call him to come and talk more on this VDM's case, and he's going to expose more things. My own problem is Nedu trying to leave the podcast. I don't know. I don't know if this guy leave the podcast will still be the way it used to be. You know the point. And I know that they are doing all these things because the integrity of the podcast need to be held up high. Because the way Very Dark Man is saying it, now, anybody that comes to the podcast, Nedu will snitch on the person and go and talk about the person outside. Just the way he talked about Sidaboj. Now he talked about Lily of Lagos, all those things, Jojo of Lagos, I mean. So all those things, will make a lot of guests to not be comfortable. And that place, they've brought pastors like Abel Damina. They've brought a lot of people like Blessing CEO. They brought Yvonne Jegede, and now those people might be thinking that maybe Nedu has said one or two things about them to outsiders, and that one day those outsiders might drag, but maybe as long as he doesn't go to say he has slept with them, at least that one is okay. But maybe Nedu really just want to step out for maturity's sake. But if you check Nedu and VDN are the same thing right now, because VDN, they're accusing you are gay, you did not say anything about it. Nedu, they're accusing you that you said something, you have not said anything about it. At least we cannot clap for Cider Bosch and the other lady, that is it, Lele Jojo of what self. That one, at least they came out and they stood their ground that they did not do it. Now those ones now we go all up high. But you see the two of you, something is somewhere that you people are hiding. I don't want to say. But anyway, guys, what do you think concerning this matter? I think this Nedu just wants to, for peace sake, let him not be, maybe don't use him out, talk too much, and people might not, regard him anymore. That's the reason why he's resigned. Anyway, guys, do well to subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching, and you can drop your comments on the comment section. Bye for now.